food when he's going to ask. So he's saying, okay, now what is the purpose of doing this? Then father explains, this is for Indra, and he's the person who's giving, any honorable householder, this dharma, artha, and kama. He doesn't talk about moksha. At this point, he says dharma, artha, kama, that needs to be had, and for that, the basic thing is that we should get good rains and the nice growth of the plants and all that we should eat, and a lot of this one. So for that, this has to be performed. This is his point. And Krishna now makes arguments to say all this is absolutely not necessary. So Krishna starts off by saying, what is the point? Actually everything happens because of your karma. Why you have to go and worship anybody at all? You do, your karma is there, it is anyway going to give it to him. Then he goes on to say, if there is some God, let's say there is some God, when he can give you whatever benefit. Karma is there and the benefit should come based on the karma. Now if the God has to give, I should do karma. So the God is dependent on karma. This is Krishna's argument. So if I do karma, then God can give me some result of that karma. Therefore, God is not all powerful. In this case, Mr. Indra, not very powerful, not necessary. Karma is important. And we see many times people send us WhatsApp messages. What is that? The summary of Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Work is worship. Right? They put these kind of things. So there he is saying actually, what you do is actually worship. That is the deity. Krishna's argument. That's when Prabhupada, I mentioned earlier, Prabhupada was really enjoying. See Krishna, how he is speaking, like that. So his mood was like, trying to speak atheistically to say, this kind of authorization is not required. You do your job properly. And then he comes down to say, and to do your job, what is necessary? Then you do based on your three modes of material nature. And then he brings in, based on that, the people are doing either a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Sudra. You do your activity. Therefore, these things are more important than that, the whoever is controlling these activities. So this is another argument he makes. And therefore he says, so don't have to bother about all these things. You do your karma properly, then you are okay. Then he comes on to say, assuming you do your karma well, how can that be supported is, we are not living in cities or any of these big places. We are in this village and we are dependent on this land which is actually helping us to grow these vegetables. We are Vaishyas, and he says there are four things for Vaishyas. One is this cow protection, one is Brahmanas protection, one is this farming, and last what is that fourth? Vanija I mentioned. Business. So business and cow protection and Brahmanas, one more thing. Agriculture. These four things. And he says we are involved in the cow protection. And for cow protection, what is important? Nice grass and all that stuff. And that is actually coming from Govardhan. So my suggestion is, you all worship this Govardhan with all the ingredients you have prepared. And Krishna actually gives the process of doing that. So he is saying, you have to make nice soup. I don't know if you have made soup here. He says vegetable soup is important to be, that's the first item he is saying. You should make nice vegetable soup. And he says different kinds of fried and baked cakes. I think that will be there, right? Fried and baked cakes. And sweet rice. So these three things he is specifically mentioning, that these three things should be made. Of course, so many other items to be made. And he is saying, what is the process of doing this Govardhan Puja? So he is saying, for doing Govardhan Puja, first you have to call the Brahmanas and ask them to chant Vedic mantras nicely. And whilst that is all happening nicely, and once it is done, you have to feed them nicely. Feed the Brahmanas very nicely. Then give them wonderful gifts. So give them cows, so many, all the, whatever you can, most, what best we can give. So these are all things which Krishna is saying because we all should follow. Particularly, most of us are grihasthas here. right? This is very important. The protection of the Brahmanas means taking care of them, right? How do you give them some dhana? How do you, sometimes and how we say, no, I don't know, outside we see, they'll keep 1 rupee and then say, Hasu kotte. That means I gave 1 cow as dana by giving this 1 rupee. Because Kali Yuga is like that, but at least they are trying to do, I'm appreciating that. But the mood should be, I should give as much to the Brahmanas as possible. That is, that's something which Krishna is specifically saying. And then he says, after this, you have to feed all the citizens, including the dogs and the dog eater. Then feed the cows with grass. Then you all circumambulate the cows and then the Giri Govardhan. And of course, he's saying, all of you wear nice new dress, nice scent, sandal, all those things. And in that joyful, pompous mood, you all should go around Giri Govardhan and celebrate this big festival. So this is Krishna's instruction of how you should celebrate Giri Govardhan Puja. And the devotees, all the Vrajavasis, they are so happily performing this particular puja. So once they do all these things, Krishna is satisfied. Krishna is saying this should be done. He's not forcing them. He's telling them, you should actually satisfy the Brahmanas, the cows, and Govardhan and me. If you are okay with this, please do it. He's not saying you have to do it. If you are okay, please do it. And they do this very nicely, and Krishna becomes very happy. But in the process, just before they were about to offer the boga to Govardhan, Krishna, he has to instill faith in them, no? Or suddenly you ask, you offer this puja to the mountain, and what is this? So he wanted to instill faith in them, therefore he turned himself into the big Govardhan himself. He expanded as the Govardhan and he started taking all the boga so nicely. And then he is present here also. He is standing as a boy and he is also expanded as Govardhan and taking all this boga. Then he is paying obeisances to himself, it is written here. He pays obeisances to himself. So therefore, Govardhan is actually transforming into Govardhan and he is paying obeisances. And he is also saying everybody pay obeisances to Giri Govardhan. So everybody pays obeisances, circumambulates and happily performs this puja and then they go home. Now in all these things, so everybody is happy. But one person is not very happy. Right? Indra. He is thinking, what is, and there's nice description given and if we have time we can discuss that. Like he is actually using bad words to talk about Krishna, saying, no, Krishna is arrogant like that. But Acharyas have given, Saraswati has actually put in certain words which can be interpreted in a different way to glorify Krishna. Right, that should be, you should go through this, that you may take one class for that itself. It's so nice to go through those portions. So he is actually getting very, very angry and upset, and he said, these people, they are over, they have become too much intoxicated because of the opulence they have got, because I have given. That kind of intoxication he had. And he said, I will destroy everything. Then he calls the Samvartaka cloud. You come, go to this village and actually destroy it. And I will of course follow in my Airavata with all the wind god, right? And I will create such a cyclone and things like that along with this rain. Can you imagine? These Samvartaka clouds are not ordinary clouds. Sometimes we hear, no? What is this? Cloud burst. That itself we are not able to stand. We can see those things. Of course, in Bangalore, I don't think we have had something like that. But in North India, many places, you can see the houses floating in the water. But you just imagine the Samvartaka cloud, it is described, the Samvartaka clouds, one, like we see drops, there it is like a pillar coming down. A pillar of water, one after the other, like this, simultaneously, like 15 pillars descending on our head, how it will be. That much of water is just flowing like anything. And then the Vrajavasis are saying, what happened? What have we done here? They all immediately go to Krishna. Oh Krishna, you are our protector. Now this is happening, we don't know what to do. The cows are also coming. Imagine the cows wanting to protect their child. It's all very nicely described. They're all coming to Krishna, please protect us. And Krishna is feeling, if I don't protect, who will protect? And that is also very important. It is mentioned how we should depend on Krishna. If we depend on Krishna, Krishna has no other option. And he will give complete protection. So this, we all get little, very rare, very little bit we get it. But we always keep doubting. Oh, I told it, I don't know whether Krishna will do or not. I will keep my fingers crossed. But they are completely dependent on Krishna. Whatever it is, he will protect us. See, it's like, you are taking on the universal biggest government, not your local MLA or MP or, your state government. You are taking the universal government, Indra. He rules the three worlds, right? And then Krishna says, okay, I will protect you, don't worry. Then, by his Maya, Yoga Maya, whatever you call it, the clouds clear for a few seconds like that. And Krishna does not even get benched because he is running from his home to Govardhan. I don't know how far it is. He is running to Govardhan and there is no rain where he is running. And he goes there, and yesterday I was hearing Radhanath Maharaj's class, and I think there they were mentioning, or in that process they were mentioning, there is one cave near Govardhan. Krishna went inside that cave, it goes underneath Govardhan, and from there he can lift Govardhan. Maybe that place is still there, I believe. So he went there, and all these Vrajavatis also went along with him. Then Krishna goes down, and then he lifts this Govardhan. In Bhagavatam it is mentioned Krishna lifts it. Many of us say, right, he lifts it with his left hand, with the small finger and all that. That is not, at least I read through, I didn't find, I tried to read twice whether it is there anywhere, it is not there. But it is mentioned, in other scriptures it is mentioned that he lifted with his left hand, with his small finger, whatever like that. So he lifts this, and it is not just 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. It is for 7 full days. 7 days just holding there are many, I heard other Maharajas and all speak when they went, and then some of them got very enthusiastic. Oh, Krishna, small boy, I will hold it for him. They will keep that their stick underneath and say, no, I will support you. So all of them putting in, Krishna said, oh, you will support me, slightly he lowers it. All the sticks crack like anything and break. So Krishna's pastime. And he is there actually enjoying the company of all his associates. They are all looking at Krishna, and Krishna is looking at them. In that 7 days, none of them even had that inclination of wanting to eat anything. Krishna also didn't have any feel like, I have to eat anything. There are so many pleasant exchanges itself, just the eye exchange itself was so much, according to their relation with Krishna, like the elders, very lovingly seeing Krishna, wow, what a child, like that. And the equals are very like, my friend, is lifting, like, those kind of different things. And the gopis, the young gopis, most beautiful. And Krishna was so happy because these gopis are supposed to be the most beautiful. And Krishna, what else? And Prabhupada, in this it's written, see, these young boys, they always want to do something different so that the girls get attracted. And Krishna used this opportunity, you see how great I am. So he was doing this, and they were also looking and appreciating. And the girls, very shy and very modest, wonderful, cultured families. So how can they openly glorify Krishna? They can't do that, right? So this gives an opportunity to talk, because everybody is talking about Krishna. Oh, Krishna did this. So they are also happily glorifying. These are all very subtle, very beautiful things. So that was happening, and at the end of 7, as it was happening, Indra was seeing, and he was completely bewildered. This small boy lifting this hill and standing there 7 days, not even eating. And in the meantime, he was also throwing his thunder. He was striking it. And there is also a description, Govardhan is relatively small compared to the lakhs and lakhs of people. They say, how many cows Nanda Baba had? 9 lakh cows. Then how many gopas, gopis? How many wagons? They have written wagons to carry things and all. So it's a whole city, literally, right? How can Govardhan hold all of them? When Krishna touched the Govardhan, Govardhan became so ecstatic, he started expanding. Some of the symptoms, right, of ecstasy, they expand like anything. And he expanded so much, everybody could be accommodated within that space of Govardhan. And while he was sending these thunders and then also this pillar like water, Govardhan was feeling like he's being pickled. Right? And there were animals on top of it. It's not simply the mountain, right? On top of it, there were deers, there were hogs and other animals. When it was being lifted, they all went up towards the summit. And that is already touching the clouds. And they never felt any water falling on them or something like that. So this is another important thing. When you are in touch with Krishna, you are actually not within your capability. It's like this. When you are, like there is an iron rod, you put that into the fire, what happens? It becomes so hot, with that iron you can burn paper. It is transformed into fire. So when we are in Krishna consciousness, we are spiritualized. And sometimes you do things which you can't imagine, how did I do it? There are any examples. Prabhupada, when he was 70 plus, can anyone do it today who is 70 plus what Prabhupada did? Impossible. Because he was in touch with Krishna every second, it is like Krishna doing it. So this is something which we all, we cannot be thinking at that level, at least I am speaking for myself, but our mood should be how I can be representing Krishna in everything I do. In our case, we should not say I will represent Krishna, I will represent my spiritual master, I will represent, for all of us, Srila Prabhupada. Whether you are initiated, not initiated, one round chanting, half round chanting, whatever, for us, Prabhupada. We have come here because of Prabhupada. So if we are able to do things, keeping Prabhupada as the center in our mind and we will doing this for Prabhupada, we can do wonders. I think Jayaprakash Maharaj sings, right? Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim. Yat kripatam ham mande. Shri Gurun Dina Tarinam. So this is very, very important that our mood, because in spiritual life, we are not paid to do anything, right? We are doing out of our free will. So motivation is only that I am doing this service for myself, for my pleasure of my spiritual master. So this mood. So Giri Govardhan did that in that service, and in that way everybody was so happy. And then the Govardhan Puja ended. I have 15 more minutes. I will try to take some more aspects of it. So now after that, Indra got angry and he was doing all this. But 7 days this happened. At the end of this one, Indra realizes, I think I have tried to choose something beyond my capability. So he gave up. He said, stop everything. Get back. So the army went back again, and Krishna said, now it is all done, all of you go back home. So they all go back home, they are all very happy. So at this time, Krishna has been doing many pastimes, right, earlier. People are taking it lightly, oh, someone, Narayana is protecting like that. But today they have physically seen Krishna do this. All the Gopas, the elderly Gopas, Gopis. So they came to Nanda Baba, we need to figure out what is happening. Who is this person? Up to now, we were taking it for granted. Now, no more. We need to really know who this is. So they go to Nanda Baba and ask him, so your son, who is he? How can he be doing all these kind of things? It's very easy. He cannot be a human being at all. So they are saying, then Nanda Baba says, yeah, many years back, when Krishna was born, what is the Muni's name? Garga Muni. So Garga Muni, he actually came, when he did this Namakarana to Krishna, he told me who this person is. This child is, who is this child? So he says, your son has already come in 3 different colors. One is in red, one is in white, and one is golden color. And of course, he came later as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in golden color. So he came in this 3 colors. Now he has come in black color. He incarnates. He says he incarnates. It's not his incarnation. He incarnates, avatari. That is the person you have got here. And he says he will protect all of you so much, and you will all be depending on him, and he will be protecting you. So this was told by Garga Muni to me many years back. So I think this should help you understand what is the situation with Krishna. So they all became very happy. And then they all actually, again, they all glorify Krishna, they all do offerings to Krishna and Nanda Baba. Both the father and the son, they do all these things. Now this is done. Now what happened to Indra? Right? Now, he did all these things, now he is defeated. So then he goes to Balram. Balramji, you know what happened. Now, will my post remain? I don't know. Right? So he is very much, so Balram says, you go to Krishna, but don't go alone. Go with Surabhi. So, when we have something in our head on spiritual thing, you can't speculate. You have to seek the guidance of Acharya. Balram is Adi Guru. So Indra did the right thing. He went to Balram and he guided him correctly. So for all of us, we need to not do things whimsically. I think I will do like this. This is what I think is best. No. Do under the direction of Guru, Acharya. And in our context, there are so many things are there. Like, if you are a Kirtaniya, follow the Kirtan leader. Ultimately follow the president. Ultimately GBC, whatever it is. But this is the structure given by Krishna. So he went and spoke to Balram and Balram said, you go and meet him. So Krishna knew all of these things. So he went to Govardhan and sat in a very remote place. So that, see, who is this person? Indra, not an ordinary Tom, Dick and Harry, right? He also has some ego. You also have to protect it, right? Sometimes someone makes a mistake. You don't chastise them in front of everybody, right? You call him separately and say, Prabhu, this is not okay, right? So, Krishna waits in that place. So, Indra comes along with Surabhi. It is mentioned, Indra comes with fear. Surabhi comes happily, joyfully. I want to meet Krishna, dancing like this. So, they meet and Indra comes, put down his helmet in Krishna's lotus feet, pays Dandavat Pranam and says, Krishna, forgive me. I acted out of my pride. I thought too much of myself. I did not realize. And he glorifies nicely. There's many verses which describes how Krishna has been glorified. Then Krishna says, I did this to actually remove your pride. If you are my devotee and you are doing these services, you should always remember me and do whatever service you are doing. Otherwise, I am always standing with a stick. It's written here. I am always standing with a stick and I will pull you down. So these things, see, sometimes we think, spiritual life is, is something which it's not scientific. There is always clearly scientific reasons. Science means what? If you do this, you will get this. Spiritual life also like that. If you do this, this will happen. It's not like, okay, I am just experimenting. No. There is a process. You follow that process, you will get the result. So now, Krishna says, I will pull you down if you don't. And then he says, it's okay now, you can go back and assume your role. So he's happy. My job is secured. I'm not losing my job. So he's happy. Then Surabhi makes her prayers. She is so happy. All these cows have been protected by Krishna. And she says, many things she says, and then she says, we want to make you our Indra. We want to make you our Indra. So there Indra is coronating Krishna with Abhishekam, wonderful Abhishekam. His mother Aditi has told him, you go there and actually do nice Abhishekam. They bring Ganga from wherever, right? And they perform wonderful Abhishek, and it is described so beautifully. At that time, how everything was so beautiful. The rivers were flowing like, and the trees were all oozing out nectar. Trees were oozing out nectar. The description is something which I cannot describe. It is so beautiful. The mountains, we all know, where the treasures are there, actually it's all inside mountains. They say all the treasures came out of the mountains and it was abundant, available for people like that. So that means everyone's heart is filled with happiness. The entire loka, the entire jivas, jiva bhuta, everybody was satisfied by this. Because the king is doing, the prajas will also be happy. So the king should rule properly, the praja will be happy. So this is happening, and then Krishna says, okay, now you can go back. So this is how this the Govardhan Puja, the pride of Indra was broken, and of course Indra falls in line. Now thinking about all these things, for us how important is Giri Govardhan? Another 6 minutes. I will talk about 2-3 things. Our Sanatana Goswami, right? He was there in a place called one Lord Shiva's temple. What is that? Chakreshwara Mahadev temple. He was residing there. And he was very old at that point in time. Chakreshwara Mahadev, that temple he was residing, and he was very old. When he was very old, he still had this habit of doing circumambulation of Giri Govardhan. Normally, I was told there is one path which is just 14 miles. There is another path which does a complete parikrama which is 24 miles. And Sanatana Goswami used to do the 24 miles path every single day. Of course, he was also writing scriptures. He was excavating different places of worship. Most busiest man. In the night he will be writing with putting one leaf in that temple. That Mahadev temple, he will be sitting, he will put one leaf. In that leaf, whatever light is there, he will be transcribing. On top of it, walking 24 miles every single day when he was in his old age. Krishna felt his heart is breaking because Sanatana Goswami is doing like this. Right. See, this is how they say, sometimes we go to Tirupati and want to take darshan of their lordship, right? Senior devotees say, you don't try to take darshan of Lord. You go there, Lord should see you. You know, what will you see there? What have you got to see the Lord like that? So when we do our service, the Lord should see your service and he will think. So here Sanatana Goswami was at that level. Krishna's heart was breaking. Why is this old man going like this every day, every single day? So he actually comes there as a disguised as a coward boy, and he says, Baba, why are you doing this? You are very old. You don't need to do all these things. He says, no, this is my service to Krishna. If I don't do this, I will die. So he says, he's not listening. Then he actually runs up the Govardhan hill, that boy. And he stands there in the Tribanga form and starts playing his flute. Immediately Govardhan melts. Where he is standing, that the Govardhan mountain below that forms that the footprint is there already. And there is also one stick, and then there is one, Krishna so mercifully also manifested a calf's footprint there. Then he comes down, gets down, brings that thing, and then gives it to him. And he says, now you come back, let's go to your place, that temple, Maha. And Krishna carries that mountain, that footprint along with him, and he goes there. And he goes and leaves it there, and he says, this footprint, if you simply circumambulate 7 times, that is more than enough for you. You don't have to do anything. And he just vanishes. Sanatana Goswami, because of his elevated status as Krishna being in his heart, he is able to realize who came as Krishna only, none other than that. So today also that Govardhan Shila is there in which temple? Radha Damodar temple. Prabhupada used to live in that temple, and we all can go and have darshan of this particular deity there. And also Prabhupada himself. For us, we have not seen Sanatana Goswami, we have seen Srila Prabhupada, at least in videos and other things. I know there is one devotee who has seen Prabhupada. There are some devotees here also who have seen Prabhupada. Our Bhakti Vinod Prabhu. He has physically seen with his eyes Prabhupada. Anyway, so Prabhupada towards the end, he was so fragile, he was like only bones. We would have seen such videos. Prabhupada insisted, I want to go and do Govardhan Parikrama. I said, in this condition, and they consulted the doctors, He said if he goes, he will die. And Prabhupada still insisted, no, I want to go. You carry me in palanquin, I will go. But even a shake for Prabhupada will be so painful. Like, this jerk is painful for his body. But Prabhupada had a good friend, very, his god brother. They were very, very, very friendly. Like, he will say, whatever he says, Prabhupada will listen. That level of friendship, very old, one Baba, I forget his name. Then, they all request him, all his disciples, you please tell, Prabhupada don't. When he represented, see, all your disciples are crying that you should not go in this venture. You should not take this adventure. They should not. Then Prabhupada said, okay, my disciples are my heart, I will not go. So Prabhupada said, I will not go. And today, 1 more minute is there, I will take 2 more minutes. Today is Rasikananda's appearance day. Prabhu had put a message, I saw that, right? So that is another important event also in his life also. Rasikananda, I think he lived in the 16th century, 15, 19, sometime he was born. And he was born in a place called Utkala. There, the king was a plunderer and the citizens were also plunderers. So imagine how it is. I mean, it's now nothing new for us, no? We are anyway in Kali Yuga. Everywhere, same thing is happening. Therefore, the society was so bad and Vaishnavas all were treated very badly. I don't know, they had this, what do you call this? Sometimes you say, no, superstition or something, where if you are doing some puja to Krishna, Lakshmi and all that, then Lakshmi will go away. Some superstition like that for them. So they were not allowing any Vaishnavas to do any devotional service. So it became so bad and those devotees were praying to the Lord, oh Lord, this is our very pathetic situation. Please send one nice devotee who can change this environment for us. So the Lord sent this wonderful personality called Rasikananda. So he came, and there is one instance where he also goes to Govardhan. That is the pastime I wanted to add here. So he tells his wife, I will go to Govardhan. She says, oh, you are only all the time going, I am not coming. He says, no, you do Vaishnava Seva, that is bigger than any other thing, and he leaves. So he goes to Govardhan, takes darshan nicely in Vrindavan and everything, then goes to Giri Govardhan. And there while he was in Giri Govardhan, he has a vision of Krishna coming as a cowherd boy. And he's telling him, you now go to Utkala. And Shyamananda Prabhu is his spiritual master. Shyamananda is waiting for you. You go, and you both of you have to go and preach in Utkala. Why? That is the purpose of Shyamananda's appearance. So he says, you go. And he opens his eyes and he's seeing that same, whatever he saw in his vision, standing right in front of him. And he sees Krishna actually then manifests as Krishna himself. He takes darshan of Krishna and he faints there itself. Then he gets up, then he goes and meets Shyamananda Prabhu. And Shyamananda Prabhu, when he goes there, come, I'm waiting for you. He says, no, let me finish some more darshan. There are so many other temples to see. When the Lord has come and told you to go, how can you just simply do all these things? He says, who told Shyamananda that the Lord appeared for me? Then he validates. He's a pure devotee and this whole combination is understood for him. Then he accepts and then he goes and together they are nicely preaching and happened. This Shyamananda, Rasikananda was such a powerful person that once, devotionally we know this, but for others, some kind of a light-mindedness, I wanted to say this one. There was once one yogi, he was just flying. Yogis, they can fly. You have seen these witches flying with a broom. They sit on the broom and fly like that. So some people say, yogi is flying. That time Rasikananda was brushing his teeth with a neem twig. No. Again and again they are saying he's flying. See, that is not important. Leave it. That's okay. Let him fly. What's your problem? No. He's flying. Then he says, okay. He puts that neem down. He stands on that brushing neem and then he starts flying. And then he comes back. I told you this is of no use. Let's do devotional service. So like this, Rasikananda, such a great personality. Today is also the auspicious appearance of Rasikananda. Our parampara is full of great personalities. I heard one time one devotee saying, see, when you are sitting like this, sometimes when you turn this side, that side, possibly one devata is sitting next to you, disguised as one devotee. Such powerful place this is. Prabhupada's, every Prabhupada center is so powerful. Therefore, we should also be mindful we don't commit offenses to anyone. So I end here. If there are any comments, questions. It's over. I mean, is it any questions we can take? Okay, anyway, it's 1:20. Okay, so we will finish here. Thank you all very much for bearing with my little uncomfortable knowledge. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण गिरिराज पूजा महामहोत्सव की
Jai.